He was the first American to completely translate Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy and was one of the fireside poets from New England. Not enjoyment, not sorrow, is our destined end or way, but to act that each tomorrow find us farther than today. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime. So, what does this do? Those people who have achieved greater things in life. Hello students, I am Anil, Assistant Professor of English, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. In this session, we are going to look at one of the poetries titled Psalm of Life for the students of BBA first semester. So what is this psalm? Before we get into the poetry, let us look at the poet. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. He was born in the year 1807. He was an American poet and educator. His original works include the poems Paul Revere's Ride, the Song of Hiawatha, and Evangeline. He was the first American to completely translate Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy and was one of the fireside poets from New England. Longfellow wrote many lyric poems known for their musicality and often presenting stories of mythology and legend. He became the most popular American poet of his day and had success overseas. He has been criticized for imitating European styles and writing poetry that was too sentimental. So what is this Psalm of Life? So this is the introduction about the poet. Now let us get into the poem. What does the poem say? The poem has an introductory line which says, "What the heart of the young man said to the psalmist." What's a psalm? What's a psalm? A psalm is holy song. We can call it holy song. So now, what the heart of the young man said to the psalmist. So the poem is spoken by the heart of the young man. So here we have to understand why the heart talks about life. So what does it talk about life? So what is this holy song that the heart says? Now the psalmist is the one who writes the song. Now he listens to the heart of the young man and he writes it. Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. So for most of the people, the common philosophy is the world is full of sorrow. So here the first two lines says, tell me not in mournful numbers, life is an empty dream. So don't tell me that life is an empty dream. I don't want to believe it. For the soul is dead and that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. So don't tell me that it's an empty dream, because the soul is dead that sleeps. And things are not what they seem. What we look at life, that people are running here and there, then there is this wind, flowers, etc. The entire thing around us is full of life. But some people who are very pessimistic, they say that life is this. It's very sorrow and it is not what you see, and soul is just dead and it sleeps. Don't tell me that. That is what the heart of a young man says in the first stanza. Now, life is real. The heart says life is real. Life is honest. Honest means curious. And the grave is not its goal. So, the grave, that means going and getting placed in the grave, is not life's goal. It is not the goal of life. Dying is not the goal. Everybody dies. Everything dies in the end. But that is not the goal. Dust thou art, to dust returnest. So this is the common philosophy. We come out of dust and we get mixed up in the dust when we die. Was not spoken of the soul. Here there is the concept of migration of soul. So here we come out of dust and to the dust we return. That was not spoken of the soul. But we don't say about soul like that. Soul is something which gives life to the body, and when body dies, the soul is liberated. That is the concept. Therefore here, dust thou art, to dust returnest was not spoken of the soul. So it is spoken of the body, but not of the soul. Not enjoyment, not sorrow, is our destined end or way, but to act that each tomorrow find us farther than today. This stanza is very important. Why? Because the first line is very important. Not enjoyment. Some people say, what is the purpose of life? To enjoy. And some say life is full of sorrow. So not enjoyment or not sorrow is our destined end or way. It is not the final goal, or it is not the way to be happy always or to be sad always. It may be mixture of both, and it is mixture of both. But to act that each tomorrow. But what should we do right now? What is our contribution to our own life? So here, the sentence says, but to act. What does that mean? But to act, that means we should keep ourselves busy in positive activities. That each tomorrow find us farther than today. So we should have some goal, we should have some targets in our life. And each day we have to go, we have to climb one step, one step, one step, one step, one step. From each tomorrow, we have to keep growing. That is what the meaning of this stanza. Not enjoyment, not sorrow, is our destined end or way. But to act, that means to be present, to keep walking, to find us farther than today, each tomorrow. Each tomorrow we have to go one step further. That is what is the purpose of life. Then the heart of a young man says, art is long and time is fleeting. How do you understand this? Art is long, time is fleeting. So art is long. That means all that we learn, all that we do, every art, that is a bigger thing. But we have limited time. Time is fleeting. It's going very fast. And our hearts, though stout and brave, and our hearts, though stout, fat and brave, still like muffled drums are beating funeral marches to the grave. Lub dub, lub dub, lub dub. The heart is beating. So what is that sound? The poet says in a very beautiful, picturized way that it is the drum which is beating. And where are we marching towards? We are marching towards our grave, and this is the drum that though it is beating inside our chest, we can't hear. It is somewhere muffled. We can't hear clearly. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, the bivouac is a temporary shelter. When there is war, the soldiers, they raise temporary shelters. So it is called bivouac. Clear? So this is bivouac. In the world's broad field of battle. So the poet, the heart, says the world is full of battle. And in this battle, in the bivouac of life, in this short temporary shelter of life, be not like dumb driven cattle. Be a hero in the strife. So in this war field, you should not be like a dumb driven cattle. What do the cattle do? If somebody show them the way, they keep walking, that's all. They don't think, they don't act, they don't have their own motivation. But the heart says, be a hero in this strife. Be a hero of your own life. So that is what one should be doing. Trust no future, however pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. This is one of the other important stanzas in the entire poetry. Trust no future, however pleasant. So you are working very hard, you think that your future is very beautiful, you have picturized it very well, but don't trust anything, however pleasant that may be. Let the dead past bury its dead. So those who have dreamt, those who have done anything in the past, just bury them. Act, that means keep working in the living present. So don't worry about your past deeds, don't worry about your bright future. Just keep working in the present. Be happy, be active in the present. How should you work? Heart within and God overhead. So you have to put all your heart on what you are doing and also have the blessings of God. So that is how one should lead one's life. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime. So what does this do? Those people who have achieved greater things in life, what do they tell us? They tell us that we can also make our lives sublime. That means we can also make our lives we can also take our life from the bottom of the achievement to the top of the achievement. And departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. And those who are leaving us, everyone dies. People die, generation after generation. Life and death is part of life. New one is born, the old one dies. And those old people leave the footprints of their achievements. And they leave behind us the footprints on the sands of time. In the sands of time, you have to understand the picture here. When you walk on the desert, there is wind blowing. Even if you leave your footprints, it would be covered after some time. That is what life is. So, and departing leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Footprints that perhaps another sailing over life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, saying, shall take heart again. So those footprints, so when somebody walks here, somebody has walked, he has left the footprint. So then, what is the purpose of those footprints? Footprints that perhaps another sailing over life's solemn main. Main means the ocean. One who is sailing over life, looking at the footprints, looking at the footsteps of the people. Shipwrecked brother, forlorn, that means destitute, neglected people, and shipwrecked, those who have faced many problems in life. Seeing those footprints, they shall take heart again. They will get the motivation to keep going, to do their work promptly with more motivation. Let us then be up and doing. So this is important. Let us then not worry about what is happening in life. Let us keep working. With a heart for any fate, let there be anything in future. We will work today, we will work now. Still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait. This line in this poem is very important. Let us then be up and doing. Let us keep working. With a heart for any fate, let us not think about the result. Still achieving, still pursuing, let us achieve whatever we can. Let us pursue whatever we can. And what should we learn in the end? Learn to labor and to wait. Let us work hard and wait for the result. That wait for the result is not physically standing and waiting. That is the psychological patience that one should have when one has worked very hard. So the entire poetry is a motivational, optimistic view of life, a psalm of life. This is a holy song of life. H.W. Longfellow. So he writes this. And who is the speaker? Young man's heart. That heart has all these motivations inside it. And that heart tells to the psalmist, write it down. Let it be the motivation for the generations to come. Therefore, the title, the Psalm of Life. Now, to summarize the entire thing very quickly, the Psalm of Life was first published in the October 1838 issues of the Knickerbocker or New York Monthly Magazine, a magazine published in New York City. A psalm is a religious or sacred song or hymn, in particular any of those contained in the biblical book of Psalms and used in Christian and Jewish worship. But here the meaning of Psalm of Life is song of life, a holy song of life, where the poet glorifies light and its possibilities. Glorifies life and its possibilities. It is an invocation to mankind to follow the path of righteousness, to follow the right thing, the right way to live this life. The poem is didactic in tone. Didactic means it teaches something when it speaks. The poem, A Psalm of Life, often takes the subtitle, What the Heart of the Young Man Said to the Psalmist. So this is the subtitle of Psalm of Life. This is very important in suggesting the context of writing this poem. Here, the speaker, a young man, responds to the biblical teachings that human life is not important and that we are made of dust and eventually return to dust. So we may take it as a psalm in response to a psalm. So in the biblical thing, man is considered the least. Man is born out of dust and returns to dust. Life has no meaning. So to this idea, this psalm is a response to those biblical psalms. In the poem, A Psalm of Life, the poet sees life from an optimistic outlook. Optimism, full of positivity. To him, this life is full of possibilities, as we can achieve higher goals by making the full of our life, full of our time, and by working hard, and of course, by keeping faith in the power and potential of life. He does not have faith in those who hold a pessimistic view of life. Throughout the poem, the poet Longfellow conveys his view of life, instructs the readers to make the most out of this life, and inspires us to participate in the work and activity of life. The poem consists of 9 stanzas of 4 lines each, and poem also is in lyrical nature. You can sing this poem as well. So this is the summary of a psalm of life. I hope you got the gist of this poem, a psalm of life, a holy song of life. With this, we shall meet in the next class. Thank you.